All right, today we're going to get to the bottom of what looks like everyday magic. We're talking about Snell's law, the surprisingly simple rule that explains exactly how and why light bends.
I mean, you've seen this a million times, right? You stick a perfectly straight straw into a glass of water, and bam, it suddenly looks like it's broken right at the surface. It's a classic optical illusion. But what you're actually seeing? Well, that's a fundamental law of physics just doing its thing.
So the one-word answer to that whole mystery? It's right here, refraction. That's just the scientific name for the bending of light. And it happens anytime light goes from one substance, or medium, into another, like from the air into the water in your glass. Okay, let's pull back the curtain on this little trick of the light. It's not magic, it's physics. And honestly, the secret behind it all, it just comes down to one single thing: speed. Yup, that's it. The whole key right here is that light doesn't actually travel at the same speed through everything. When it moves from one type of stuff to another, its speed changes. And that change in speed is what forces the light to literally change direction, to bend. So in physics, we have a name for these different substances. We just call them a medium. For our straw example, light is traveling from the medium of air into the medium of water. Other common ones we'll look at are things like air and glass. Basically, just think of a medium as any stuff that light can travel through. So here's the cool part. We can actually measure how much that light slows down. It isn't random at all. Scientists have a specific number for it, which lets us predict exactly how light is going to behave. And that number? We call it the refractive index, and we usually just write it as the letter N. The easiest way to think about it is like a difficulty rating for light's journey through something. The higher the refractive index, the tougher the terrain is for light, and the more it's forced to slow down. And this chart makes that whole concept super clear. See, air has a refractive index of pretty much 1, so that's our baseline. Water's index is higher, 1.33, so light travels slower in it. And glass is even higher at 1.50, which means light slows down even more. So this gives us two really simple rules of the road for light. When light enters a denser or slower medium, like from air into water, it slows down and bends towards something we call the normal. You can just picture that as an imaginary line sticking straight out from the surface at a 90-degree angle. And when it does the opposite, goes from water back into the air, it speeds up and bends away from that normal line. All right, so we get the general idea, right? Light hits new stuff, it bends. But how can we predict the exact angle of that bend? Well, for that, we turn to a brilliant formula figured out way back in the 1600s by a Dutch astronomer. We just call it Snell's law. And here it is. I know, it might look a little intimidating at first glance, but trust me, this is one of the most elegant and powerful little equations in all of optics. This simple formula is the complete rule book for refraction, connecting the slowness of each material with the actual angle of the light ray. So let's just break this down piece by piece. It's way simpler than it looks. N1 and θ1 are for the first medium. That's where the light is coming from. So you have its refractive index and the angle it's coming in at. Then N2 and θ2 are for the second medium, where the light is going. That's its refractive index and the new angle it takes after it bends. That's literally all there is to it. You know, the best way to really get a formula is to just use it. So let's run through a quick example to show you how this actually works. It's surprisingly straightforward. Okay, so just picture a beam of light traveling from air, and it's about to hit a piece of glass. Step 1, we gotta find our variables. The refractive index of air, our N1, is 1. For glass, our N2, it's 1.5. And let's just say the light hits the glass at a 30-degree angle. Step 2, we just plug those numbers into the formula. And step 3, with a little bit of algebra, we solve for that final angle. And look at that. The result totally confirms the rule we talked about earlier. The new angle, 19.5 degrees, is smaller than the original 30-degree angle. That means the light bent towards the normal, exactly what we predicted when it moved into a denser medium. See? The math works out perfectly. Okay, but this is way more than just a neat physics trick or something to solve in a classroom. This one single principle is responsible for some of humanity's most important technologies. So why should you care about this? I mean, really, what's the big deal about some 17th century physics formula today? Well, as it turns out, the payoff is absolutely huge.
Just think about this list for a second. Every single lens in your eyeglasses, your phone's camera, those crazy powerful microscopes, they all work because we know how to use Snell's law to bend light perfectly to a single point. The fiber optic cables that are the backbone of the internet, they trap light inside by bending it so perfectly it reflects back on itself, bouncing along for miles and miles. And even a simple prism uses this exact law to bend each color of light just a tiny bit differently, splitting white light into a beautiful rainbow.
So, the big takeaway here? Snell's law isn't just some dusty formula in a textbook. It is literally the engine running our modern visual world, and our connected one too.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. Now that you know the simple rule that governs how light bends, what else do you see differently? What other everyday phenomena, maybe a diamond sparkle or even a mirage on a hot road, are being guided by this exact same elegant law of physics?